truth is, it's simple. Know who your customers are and target them and don't waste media. Don't throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Your mission is to find exactly who you want to target today and sink every dollar you can towards targeting that eyeball. And when you waste it, it gets frustrating, am I right? I mean, you have the unmitigated goal as a marketer, that's why you're here to grow your business, to want the media to give you a return on investment. By the way, that's not a new concept. I'm going to swing you back to 1860. United States of America, the #1 retailer was this guy, John Wanamaker's. This predates Gimbel's and Macy's. And he bought a lot of media back then, and he used to have a joke about media: half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. Anyone know the punchline? Just don't know which half it is. We're not going to operate that way anymore. We're going to know our customers. I'll tell you who your customers are. It's simple. If you think in simplicity, remember 4s, 2 + 2. Your customers are either young, old, rich, poor, near, far, or man, woman. I take any piece of geeky research I see about media and I analyze it that way. Young, old, rich, poor, near, far, man, woman. Once I cut that dimension down, I then try to find the media to match it for the customer. By the way, now I'm going to do a commercial for Mitzi. May I do that for you? Sure. You're paying my freight here. This is for you. There's a lot of hoopla going on in this city that's happening. And I love all forms of media. I have a 16-year background in radio. I started as a disc jockey. I managed television stations. I work for some geeky companies now. I work for a company as a consultant that knows where you're standing on the golf course. You know, they got all these maps of golf. Oh, I see some. And if you're going to hit the ball, it'll tell you where it's sending, what club to use. That's not where I make money. It also knows where the closest bar is for you to buy a beer after the game. That's where media is going, but I love all media. But that's a bunch of hooey. Let me be very clear about something. Media shifts all the time. Let's talk about television. I love television. I've been in TV a long time, but I got news for you. I've got one of those suckers in my house. Do you have one of those suckers? Mm-hmm. You call them DVRs or recorders. I call them time shifters. The reason they're called a time shifter is because how dare a television network require you to sit in front of the TV at a certain time of day? You're going to watch television when you want to watch television. Ergo, you miss 66% of commercials. Gone! Or you watch the show 10 minutes late, like my daughter does. She figured that one out now, so she can slip right through those suckers. By the way, on behalf of all my television clients, don't do that anymore, okay? We want you to watch the commercials. Now, radio. Radio is a great media, except live radio doesn't exist anymore because of satellite and that sucker. This is the radio of today. We know that. This syncs with my car. And when I sit in my car, I live in Tampa. I don't listen to live radio. I'm adjusting my listening habit. And by the way, direct mail, email. Media shifts. Quick commercial for newspapers. Do newspapers have audience? Well, they have results. #1 choice for small businesses is newspapers, hands down. Radio's well down here. We're talking #1 choice, and it's the #1 results media in the world. And if you don't think it doesn't get results, how come people steal inserts out of newspapers? This is one of the top results media in the world. When you talk about Canada penetration, across all of Canada, 69% of 18-plus adults, 69% touch a newspaper. Talk about reach, where it's only 61% in my home country. And I know it's even higher here. I saw data for this province. It's in the 80s. Newspapers rock. Yeah, what is it? 3/4 of Canadians touch a newspaper. That's not the best part of the reach, though. Let's put that aside. Okay, you got a lot of eyeballs. But remember I talked about knowing that eyeball? This is what I love about newspapers. Which media do you multitask the most with? And which do you multitask the least with? So let's analyze radio, television, and newspapers. Well, guess what? The #1 media that you do other stuff to is radio. And you all know that. You turn it on, and you're doing other things. It's in the background. You're hardly noticing it. The #1 media you focus on is newspapers. I'll show you why. I'm an old guy. I'm 56. Many of you in this room are much younger than me. But back when I was a kid and the television was on, guess what? That was TV. We didn't talk when the TV was on. We focused. This is my family today. My kids got 3 pieces of media going on simultaneously, but when you look at a newspaper, you're engaged. That's why the ads work better in a newspaper than any other media. Don't trust me. Trust the smartest guy on this planet, Warren Buffett. He just bought 400 newspapers. By the way, you saw the quotes when you came in? I collect them. I have hundreds of quotes. In my book, I have 200. But my favorite quote from him, because he's one of my heroes, and if I had listened to him, I would never have bought Florida real estate. He didn't buy real estate until he was in his 60s. He said, when people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful.